Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Brittany, and on this channel, we talk all about plants. And I have been a little behind. I've been on vacation. I've been taking some well-needed rest this summer break. And I realized that I have so many plant chores that I need to get done. So here's the deal. Today, I need to make a new moss pole for this guy. You can see it has grown like crazy over the last month or so. Do a couple other things, and then I did get 3 new plants in this month that I wanted to share with you. So if you are into plants, into new plants, into plant chores, stick around and let's talk catching up after vacation. Okay, so let's start out. I want to show you the new plants that I got. So the first one that came in is this beautiful air plant. And I did not previously have any air plants in my collection, so I was super excited to get this. It did come from the air plant shop, and it has a plant care guide, watering, light air, and displaying. So it says to completely submerge this in water for 20 to 30 minutes and then dry upside down until completely dry, misting between as needed. It says about once a week. So I think we're gonna do that, get this guy a little bit of water, and then see if we can find a really pretty place in this room for him. The second plant that I got, and I'm so excited. If you know me, you know my favorite color is pink, and I got this variegated string of hearts, and it's like the most adorable pink sage. I love it, you guys. This is like right up my alley. So I'm thinking that this guy's gonna hang in the window, and I'm so excited about him. And then the third plant that I got just recently, I'll show you a clip. He is isolating. I opened the package, and I wish I would have recorded it, but I didn't. And I was like, is this thing fenestrated? Like, what's going on? It had like holes all over the leaves. And so I was like, what is eating this? Freaked out. What is in this box? Took it outside immediately. And you'll never guess what was in there. A slug. I'll show you the video. So I did get in contact with the seller, just looking at replacing that, but this little slug was actually really cute, and he must have had such a good trip from California to Wyoming and was so full, because I'm telling you, the damage that this one tiny little slug did to these plants was like out of control. So let me just show you what that looked like here.
So this is the Monstera St Tacana, and it does fenestrate when it gets bigger, and these leaves are so cool and green and silvery. And here is the little slug that was in the pot, just right on the top, living his best life, traveling, summer vacation. And I made sure that there was only one, but like I said, this guy is still isolating. And he is actually really cute with his little antennas, but not for the St Tacana. Oh, there he goes. Bye, little buddy.
Wild. So that's that. It, like I said, is isolating, trying to get a replacement on that plant. But those are the 3 new ones that I got over the last like week or two. This air plant did just come in 2 days ago, yesterday, and I have not watered it yet. So I did get a bowl of water. I'm using the filtered water. I'm just gonna put it down in here. It says to completely submerge it, but I've seen people just kind of put the leaves in. Let me know if that's wrong or right. And in terms of air plants, I've been doing some research. They don't need the roots because they get all their energy, water from their leaves, and that is why they don't need soil. So super cool. I'm excited for this guy. It says to keep it in indirect light every day, and a windowsill or bright room is ideal. Good air circulation is important, and they prefer temperatures between 50 and 90. And then it just gives ideas for displaying them. It says a glass terrarium, hanging planter, driftwood branch, or container dish, or simply a limb. So we will find somewhere cute for this guy. And that is the update on all these new plants. So got the fun part done. Now let's get to the work. So I had put this adansonii on this moss pole back in probably January, February time frame. And it was like a tiny broken piece of adansonii, and I think it had 2 leaves. There's a video down below that you can watch of that process. And it took a while for it to like take off, but over the last month or 2, it has grown like crazy. So you can see the part where the roots are just barely off of the pole. The newest node is right here. So we do need to extend this significantly. And this new leaf right here, there we go, just unfurled, I think yesterday. So it's going to grow, and then the stem is going to continue to grow as well. So we need to do this sooner than later. So let's work on extending the moss pole for this guy. Okay, so I got all the stuff that we need to extend this moss pole. So I have the extension here, some zip ties. I have sphagnum moss, and then I do have some water that we can moisten this with, and I think we're gonna be good to go. So first things first, I'm gonna get this sphagnum moss out and get it nice and moist. I'm gonna start with just a partial of this brick first, because I always do too much. And then when you store it, it starts to get like a little bit of a smell. So I'm gonna do just a little bit to start and see how we're looking. So this just takes a little bit of time to, doesn't say how long, but it usually just takes like a minute or 2 to get nice and moist, come apart. Okay, yeah, so beware. I definitely thought that little brick was not going to be enough, and once it starts to expand, it just gets so big so quickly. So now we have that much. Started with this much. So we are going, yeah, I'm gonna have too much again. We're gonna just go ahead and place this into this wire and kind of spread it out. You want to leave a little bit of space on the bottom here, because that's where it's going to fit over the other original pole. And then we're just filling this in. Once we do, I'm going to measure it so that it's just wide enough to fit over this one, and then we'll place it over and kind of see what this looks like. I don't like to go super huge with my moss poles. I figure I can just extend, because it does give the actual plant itself more stability to be lower to the ground. So I'm just not ready for like a tipper yet. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I have this much left every time. I even broke another piece off because I didn't think I was gonna have enough. Oh well. So I just zip tied this together, and I just placed the zip ties every 2 or 3 inches apart, just to keep it really nice and secure. And then let's cut these off just to make them look a little bit nicer. So I've got my wire cutters here. Here we go. Does anyone have a really big moss pole plant? I'm curious. This one is definitely my biggest, and I'm fairly new to this. I had placed my first plant onto a moss pole back in December, and it was a marble queen, and I have a video of that. I think it was my very second, third video that I made, and it's doing really well. It's getting a lot of leaves, but it's not like upsizing yet. This one is definitely the most successful. So then we're just going to carefully get this fit over it. Here. There we go. There we go. And then I'm zip tying these together so that they don't come loose. Not with that though, because that's the cut one. And that is that. I made sure that I connected where the moss was so that the worst part, you guys, is the zip ties and getting them through everything. Made sure that the moss connected so that there wasn't any spots where the roots would not be growing into the moss. And if you have questions about why you might use a moss pole, I do have a video that just discusses the difference between moss poles and like support poles, like coco coir, so on and so forth. So take a look at that if you're confused as to why you might want something like this. There. Okay, that looks great. Okay, so excited. So the idea is that where there is a node, so the spot that the new leaf grows out of, roots have the ability to grow from that node. So we're gonna find those nodes and just kind of clip them to the pole so that they are encouraged to grow, the roots grow into the moss. Just like that. That looks great. And that was actually so super easy and it feels stable. Once it gets bigger, adding a support to the back of the pole might be necessary, but it feels okay right now. So really cool. I'm excited about this. I hope it keeps growing and thriving as well as it has been. Like I said, this is the new leaf and you can actually see if I can get it to focus here. This is the new one and it does have a leaf that's just starting to peek out right here. Cool. So this is gonna go back on the shelf and then we will keep up with updates on this as the summer continues. And then once we get to the point that we need to extend again, that's when we're gonna have to start looking at some better support for just the weight distribution of this plant. So if you have comments, if you have easier ways of doing this that you wanna share with us, questions that we can help you to start your own moss pole, please leave those down below and make sure you like this if you are into moss poles as well. I know it's like very trendy and cool and I think it's just super fun and exciting to watch these leaves start to get bigger. Okay, so I think that is it for today's video. If you are into plants and want to be friends, please follow me on Facebook and make sure that you subscribe and give this video a like. It really helps so that I can see what people are into and continue doing videos that we are all wanting to learn from. So I will see you guys in the next one and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.